The season had been brutal on the Fever's depth chart. Caitlin Clark, the face of the franchise and the league, shut down with a groin injury. Sophie Cunningham sidelined by an MCL tear. Sydney Coulson gone to an ACL injury. Khloe Bby's knee gave out. Arie McDonald fractured her foot. One by one, rotation players disappeared, leaving the Fever with lineups patched together on the fly. On paper, their playoff hopes should have ended weeks ago. Teams don't recover from that many absences. But Indiana decided not to read the script. They rewrote it. That rewriting started with Kelsey Mitchell. If there's one player who embodied Indiana's stubborn refusal to fold, it was her. She didn't just keep the offense afloat, she elevated it to historic levels. Averaging more than 20 points per game, she became the most prolific scorer in Fever history, eclipsing even the numbers put up by the legendary Tamika Catchings. Every scouting report circled her name. Every defense tilted toward her. Yet Mitchell continued to find ways to score, slicing into the paint, pulling up from deep, and keeping Indiana alive night after night. She wasn't just a stopgap. She was the pulse of the team. Beside her, Aaliyah Boston gave Indiana their anchor. 15 points a night, a relentless presence on the glass, and a steady defender who seemed to erase opponents' confidence the longer she battled in the paint. She set a single-season rebounding record, proving that even in chaos, there was a foundation holding the team together. In a year full of injuries and instability, Boston was the rock, the stabilizer who made sure Indiana never fully unraveled. And yet, the turning point wasn't about statistics. It was about attitude. When Caitlin Clark's season was officially declared over, it could have shattered the locker room. Instead, Coach Stephanie White preached a simple message: be where your feet are. Stop worrying about who isn't here. Focus on who is. That mantra fueled the Fever through one of the most improbable stretches in franchise history. 3 straight wins to close the season, capped by the takedown of the league's best team. Against Minnesota, it was never about surviving. From the opening tip, Indiana dictated, a 10-0 run out of the gate shocked the Lynx, and before long, the Fever had doubled them up 28-14 in the first quarter. They shot nearly 60% in the first half, suffocated Minnesota on defense, and refused to let momentum slip away. Every time the Lynx tried to claw back, Indiana answered with a big shot, a key rebound, or a defensive stand that silenced the surge. Odyssey Sims came off the bench and looked reborn. Scoring 15 points and managing the offense with poise, Aerial Power stepped into the spotlight, drilling back-to-back threes when Minnesota threatened to close the gap. Natasha Howard filled every gap, scoring, rebounding, defending, and kept the front court steady alongside Boston. And when it was over, the Fever didn't just have another win. They had their first winning record since 2015, a 9-year drought finally broken. It wasn't just a number. It was proof that a new era had arrived. But the moment that lit up the night wasn't about stats or playoff seeding. It was about Lexie Hull and her duel with Kayla McBride. Just weeks earlier, Hull had been on the wrong end of one of the season's ugliest moments. An elbow to the face that left her bloodied, only for referees to bizarrely hit her with the technical foul instead of McBride. Fans were furious. Social media erupted. It became the kind of low point that can linger, the kind that leaves players questioning how they're perceived. So when Indiana faced Minnesota again, all eyes turned to Hull. She was already logging heavy minutes because of the Fever's injury crisis, already proving herself with a career-best 23-point outing against the Lynx in their previous matchup. But what fans wanted wasn't just production. They wanted justice. They wanted to see her respond, and then it happened. In the second quarter, matched up one-on-one at the top of the key, Hull gave a quick hesitation dribble that sent McBride lunging. In an instant, McBride lost her balance, her legs tangled, and the cameras caught it all, an ankle-breaking crossover that left the crowd roaring. It wasn't just a bucket. It was a moment of redemption. The same player who'd bloodied her weeks earlier was now the one sprawled on the floor, humiliated by Hull's move. The crowd erupted. Social media exploded. Indiana fans called it karma. Neutral fans just laughed. But for Hull, it was vindication. The play symbolized everything about the Fever's season. A team that had been elbowed in the face, figuratively and literally, by injuries, by bad breaks, by questionable calls, refusing to stay down. Instead, they stood taller. Hull's crossover wasn't just 2 points on the scoreboard. It was the emotional exclamation point on a night where Indiana proved they weren't done, no matter who doubted them. Even Caitlin Clark, sitting on the bench in warm-ups, couldn't hide her excitement. Cameras caught her signaling for timeouts, talking to teammates, and reacting like a coach in sneakers. She wasn't just watching, she was part of it. Her absence on the floor hasn't stopped her from shaping the culture, and when she finally returns next year, she'll be stepping into a team that's no longer searching for its identity. They found it. The Fever are heading into the playoffs with more than momentum. They're heading in with belief. They've built something through adversity that no injury report can take away. A winning record for the first time in nearly a decade. A roster that has proven its depth. A star in Mitchell playing at an MVP level. A rising anchor in Boston. And a team spirit embodied by Hull's crossover. A single play that reminded everyone that Indiana won't be pushed around anymore. The season isn't over. In many ways, it feels like it's just beginning. This playoff run may not end with a trophy, but it's already reshaped the narrative of what the Fever are and what they can become. And for fans, this is the moment to lock in. The climb back to relevance is here, and it's happening faster than anyone expected. So what did you think of Lexie Hull's redemption moment? Was it the play of the season? And do you believe this Fever team has what it takes to shock the league in the playoffs? Let us know in the comments, show your love for Lexie, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss what comes next.